Welcome to the Free Black Girl Podcast. This is a space for joyful healing, learning, and collective liberation. My name is Najma Ahmed, and you are listening to a series of mini podcast episodes called Lessons from Liberation. I shared in my first season of the podcast all the ways in which I got free from unhealed trauma, people pleasing, and really from any person, place, or thing causing me to betray myself. Now, these lessons from liberation are based on what I learned last year after asking myself, now what? I started a blog during that time called The Freedom Pages, and I'm sharing what I reflected on in real time. Last week, I shared my journey to vulnerability to get to the point where I could share myself so publicly. I had to create an internal place of safety where I know that no matter what happens outside of me, I've got me. Often we get stuck or stay isolated because we are waiting on some external signal of safety that may never come. Let's jump into this week's lesson. You are your own safe space. Those are the words that came to me recently, and they rang like a bell. In relationships, whether they be romantic, friendships, family, work, or other forms of community, I found myself again waiting to feel safe before I could fully show up as myself. The me that talks a lot when I'm excited about a topic or a person, that likes to nerd out over documentaries, random facts, and ideas about the meaning of life on a Tuesday afternoon. The parts of me that can be sarcastic and very self-confident. The shy me, the comedian. The me that dances like nobody's watching when nobody is watching. The revolutionary me. The one that can still rap every word to the Miseducation of Lauryn Hill album. The me who knows everything and nothing at the same time. The me who struggles with eye contact and is very conscious of self. The sensitive me who cries when I'm happy, grateful, afraid, and sad. And everything in between. The giver who wants to be everything for everyone, that wants everyone to have everything that they need, but is uncomfortable sometimes with receiving, but while also longing for reciprocity. I've written about this a bit before in various scenarios, but this time I understood how easy it is to unconsciously slip back into the shadows. Healing is cyclical, and I began to wonder what this lesson was teaching me now about sustaining the light once you enter into it. Growing up, I moved a lot. For a while, almost every year, I was a new kid in school, and often the only black kid in my class, or one of very few. Most certainly the only one with an Arabic name. I was always scanning for safety. It was easier to do what everybody else was doing rather than to run the risk of not being accepted and not belonging. I already felt that enough in my home life. But really what I did, it was to shrink myself down and to hide. Unless I was in spaces that nurtured me academically and socially and saw my light even when I tried my hardest to dim it. But this realization came to me the other day, that you are your own safe space when discussing how we show up in relationships, often waiting for the other person or people to do something to make you feel safe enough to remove your mask. It makes sense though. I have received clear signals my whole life that those parts of me were too much, too deep, too smart, too quiet, too cocky, too militant, too buttoned up, too whatever for many people that I've encountered. But it has become clear that safety is an inside job. You have to tell yourself, believe, and demonstrate that you are capable of protecting and loving all of your parts, regardless of what's going on around you. Because when you keep your true self hidden, you are now joining the chorus of too much or not enough. Then you find yourself in a situation where there is both no external or internal safety. And where do you go from there? That is why we try to escape. We dissociate. We leave our bodies by any means necessary. The way that we demonstrate safety to ourselves is by doing the work to allow our full selves to show up, but also being curious enough about you to learn what you need to feel seen, heard, and held with care. Then articulating that to those you are in relationship with and setting a boundary, knowing that you will remove yourself if those needs are not aligned with what you are receiving in that space. And while it's not anybody else's job to make you feel safe, you also cannot allow people to stay who diminish the safety you have built within yourself. Oftentimes we exhaust ourselves looking externally for the other partner, the family member, the friend, the job, or the environment to change, when you really could just communicate your boundary and let go when they show you they are not capable of meeting it. And when we don't let go, we have to ask ourselves, is it more important to be in relationship, to be in that environment, to be in that job than it is to be in relationship with yourself? And if we aren't willing to do what needs to be done to keep ourselves safe internally, how could we expect anything external to ever fill that need? We've talked about this void before, but it will be that constant void that will keep us attached, keep us seeking approval, external validation, and confirmation that we're good, that we're doing the right thing. While I don't think that this is necessarily an easy process, I'm learning it more and more every day. But in those small everyday moments, when we allow our unique selves to shine through, we allow ourselves to be seen without the guarantee that we will feel seen by others. Because we know that at the end of the day, we'll see ourselves and not who we have contorted ourselves into in order to be accepted by others, when that acceptance still may never come. I am my own safe space, and that will always be enough. When I wrote this last year, first of all, it's amazing how much I have grown reading that back and the comfort that I feel in my vulnerability and trusting myself. I think it's important that we take a pause when we think about how much we've grown. And so just reading that kind of gave me chills to myself to know that growth has taken place. It takes that repetition and just by doing the things that make us afraid. But last year, when I wrote this, I was thinking about safety in the sense of relationships and people and jobs and community. But now when I'm thinking about safety, as I record this episode today, I look at everything that's going on in this country right now, in this world, and it feels like a very unsafe space to be in, doesn't it? It can feel almost out of body, the uncertainty, the chaos, the violence. It can feel like, how the hell are we supposed to move forward on our projects, our hopes, our dreams, our joy in the midst of all of this? I don't know about you all, but it definitely has felt like for the last 6 years, especially, but maybe the last 10 years, life as we know it will never be the same. How do we ever get that feeling of safety back? And I hate to break it to you. I really do. But I don't think it's ever coming back. And if we understand that to be true, will you wait to feel safe to build your dreams? This is what I had to ask myself. Understanding that I'm my own safe space also means having faith in my calling and my mission, regardless of what's going on outside of me. I know that I have what I need right now to take the next step. And that can get overwhelming because it's like, I'm building this life of mine within this world when everything around me is being destroyed. It's natural to wonder, will what I'm building even survive the destruction? But understanding internal safety, the conviction of my vision, I have to know without a shadow of a doubt that what I'm building is needed right now. What I'm building is in alignment with our greater good, with our collective liberation. Internal safety is knowing that I would not have been called to this path if it wasn't what is going to keep me safe, if it wasn't what is going to keep us safe. I was laying in the grass the other day, soaking in the sun, and I was feeling some anxiety come up around resources and how things are going to happen, how things are going to get funded, how and when. I took out my journal and I had a conversation with myself, a whole conversation. Healing means talking to yourself, so you should get comfortable with that. So I invite you to do the same. I ask myself these questions. What am I waiting on to feel safe and secure? If I truly believe that everything will work out how it's supposed to, when it's supposed to, why do I feel so frustrated? I answered, because I want to know the how and when. I asked myself, what would that give me? Confirmation. So do you really believe if you need confirmation? I responded, I guess I don't trust the timing because I've waited so long already. I asked myself, why did you have to wait so long? Because I wasn't ready. And I was still hanging on in the void. Did you let go of the void? Yes. So it's not the same this time. I responded, true. But the resources would allow me to secure things now. I've been waiting to set certain dates. I want things squared away before I move on to the next step. I asked myself, do you have what you need right now? Are you secure in this moment today? Yes. Are there steps that you can take right now that don't require those resources you're being impatient about today? Yes. Can you be flexible if things need to change as you move forward? Yes. Can you start doing one thing today that moves you closer to where you want to be? Yes. Are you lacking in any way? No. So trust, believe, and know it will happen when it happens. Be at peace now. Love now. Play now. Be pleased by life right now. The flowers don't need confirmation that they will bloom. Shout out to Stevie Wonder. They know, they trust the timing. When the conditions are right for them to thrive, they open and flourish. Walk the way, and the way unfolds. This is the surrender. Making the leap, going through the door, all of a sudden being back in the dark. It feels like the cave again, but it's not. Just a few steps more and the sky opens up. I have a plan. I'm on track. I'm aligned. I rest in the knowing of it all that I know nothing. And if what I'm really wanting is peace of mind, that it will all work out, well, why not just operate in the peace right now? Either way, you still have to do the work to get there. You still have to take the next step and the next step and the next step. Perhaps the point is that we have to believe it to see it, not the other way around. So will you do the work in fear or will you relax into peace? And I can't even lie. It's like A lot of days, that little boy in that meme where he got in trouble, he has to do that Fortnite dance, and he's dancing and crying at the same time. A lot of days it feels like that. But then I think about our ancestors who lived through direct threats on their lives, who saw their peers assassinated, who still decided to trust in the safety of their vision, to trust in their calling, to know that this was bigger than their fear. And we're being called to similar courage right now. And I'm buoyed by them, by knowing that we're not alone, that the same spirit that guided and protected and supported them seeks to guide, support, and protect us right now. One of my favorite quotes by Audre Lorde is, "When I dare to be powerful, to use my strength in service of my vision, then it becomes less and less important whether I am afraid." Thank you for listening. Go ahead and hit like and subscribe. Leave me a comment and a 5-star review wherever you get your podcasts. I really hope these lessons from liberation help you to grow, as you being in community with me helps me to grow. And as always, I want this to be a conversation, so leave me a comment, or now you can go to the link in the description and send me an anonymous question or topic you would like for me to discuss. I was going to end these episodes after I ran out of blog posts from last year, which is coming very soon, but I think I'll keep this going for a while until I'm ready to drop the full season 2. So send in your questions and discussion topics. I can't wait to hear from